Oh, hello. That music just hyped me up. I'm going to say that.
Sure did.
Everybody.
What's up, football? What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
It's going good. Long time no see, Melly. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to be here this evening and talk some TCG, some Seither Chronicles. See how everyone's feeling tonight.
I think we're all ready to do that. And you need an umlaut in your name. It's just gonna bug me all night. I gotta fix that later.
Umlauts everywhere.
All right. So I'm gonna let you take this off, and well, I guess let's welcome everybody, right? Christy, you want to welcome everybody?
Yeah, welcome everybody. We're excited to dive into the new game. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to go over. Yeah, excited. Thanks for joining us.
So should we do a little introduction since I mean everybody here might seem to know who we are, but just
yeah, for the YouTube land.
For you YouTube landers out there.
Heck yeah.
Take it away, Nar.
Well, you want me to introduce myself first? I was going to allow ladies first. We'll let the queen go first.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Krista, aka Queen Christikins of the Battle Bunnies. I'm one of the founders. I'm also an artist, and I do a lot: graphic design, social media, Discord, all that fun stuff. So, thanks for joining us, and I'm excited.
Heck yeah. My name's Joseph. I go by Creature as well. I am the creator of the Seither Chronicles, along with the amazing community within Battle Bunnies as well. It's been an awesome journey to get where we are today. Happy to be here. Also, lending a hand in some design work and yeah, just playing along. So yeah.
And last but not least, I guess I'll introduce myself, right? Frank, also known as North the Mad. I mean, you could see why. And I'm one of the lead artists and creators of the Battle Bunnies universe, along with my Queen Christikins over there. And well, that's us in a nutshell. So let's talk a little bit about what we're covering today, and we're going to let you maybe take that away, Creature.
Yep.
Can I just mention too real quick how good you guys look?
Hi, Tansy.
Oh, what do we got going on here? Sorry. Hello?
Hello?
What's up, everybody? Cryptimus, Mossy, Jalil,
Can you hear me all right?
Everybody.
No, I just wanted to say you guys look great in those jerseys. Man.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Wow.
Look, I'm representing my class, right? And you got Krista representing her class.
I'm ready to go bowling, get some strikes.
Battle Bunnies Fluffle Bowling League.
Yeah. I don't think we were able to get too far into this without, at least touching base and acknowledging those sweet shirts. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, you're going
to
see.
You can't see, but they have our characters back there and our name across it.
Oh. Yep. You got the number, the logo, got our numbers on there, and we're going to have some really awesome Seither Chronicles jerseys appearing in Richmond in a few weeks. So we're excited for y'all to see those.
Yeah. All of this stuff will be on the store hopefully soon. Yay.
Awesome. Well, sweet. So yeah, this evening we're happy to talk about Seither Chronicles, the trading card game. We have our new release coming up at Richmond, and so tonight we're going to be going over pretty much everything, answering all the questions, and kind of diving deeper into what you can expect out of the game and our journey to get here, along with nice little bits and bobs along the way. So
Okay, so look, I think we're gonna start. Kristen's gonna take us away, but maybe we'll just jump quickly into the story and the lore here, and let's give us a little intro for those that aren't familiar.
before we do that, I want to mention the giveaway.
Ooh.
So we're going to give away a brand new deck tonight to one of you guys here live, and whatever class you choose. So Viking, Valkyrie, Shaman, or Pirate. So stay tuned for the secret word. It's going to pop up at some point on the screen. We're going to also say it, and you're going to take that word and throw it in your ticket in the Battle Bunnies Discord. If you're not in our Discord, you got to jump in there. That's where we all live and build together and do live events. So hop on over there. You can find a link on our Twitter and our YouTube channel in the description of this video. So just let us know if you need a link, and we'll get you in there. All right, here we go. So, story and lore.
So-
if you don't, oh, go ahead.
Yep. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
Ladies
so
first.
if you don't know anything about our game, it's all based on the Battle Bunnies lore and novel in our world. So we have 3 novels total that are coming. The first one is published, available on our website and Amazon, lots of different places. Book 2 is in the works as well. And Seither, which is what the game is built around and named after, is the magical water that flows throughout all the lands of the Battle Bunnies. And it gives all the creatures their power, their ability to speak, gives them magical powers, all of that stuff. And without the Seither, they turn feral and they turn to regular bunnies that cannot speak and don't know who they are and all of that. So that's why the Seither is so important in the game and in our world. And so that's what you are battling over in the game.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned the novels, and I will say if you do hop in the Discord and you've read book 1, you can definitely join us for reading the manuscript of book 2. We're looking to have the book released hopefully by Christmas. There's a little sneak peek of the title of book 2, and you get to see book 1.
Yep,
So
alpha.
you get, and that's you get to get first peeks at the at book 2. Start be a part of it and all of that.
Awesome.
So, and honestly, we wouldn't have these books and have all of this without our community, our Fluffle fam, right? So, I want to talk a little bit about the community, the Discord, Krista, and let.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is from Richmond last year, and we'll be there again in like a month from now. But basically, we have a huge community of amazing people, gamers, collectors. Like, we're kind of all over the place, but one thing in common is that we have a lot of love, and we love art and storytelling and having fun and being a kid. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, like I said, jump in the Discord, because that's where we all hang out and communicate and everything. And that's what each of these creatures in the game pretty much is a community member. So that's a big part of our project as a whole and the game. So it's really cool. We've built this game with everyone, so you can absolutely have I'm getting distracted by the comments. Yeah, absolutely have. Yeah, I can't. They just keep popping up and
Sorry, that's on me.
They're going off, man.
I don't know what I was
they're
saying,
hype right now.
Yeah. Having a seizure over here in the corner.
And I know you talked about community, all of that. The bunny tails, right? Becoming a character in the world.
Yep.
Yeah. So the way this works and how you can become a card in the game is you get a digital character that's part of our collections. Series 1 is where all of our bunnies live. So you and the Spartans, which are coming later. But yeah, so you would grab a bunny and then you get to name them. So whatever you want their name to be. And you write a backstory like Miss Firefly here. So this was one of her, this was a custom bunny that we did for her, right? That she won. Where she got
Yes,
to
yep. Yeah,
So this is Miss Firefly's bunny. You can see up the top right, owned by Miss Firefly Vault. That is her digital wallet. And so this bunny lives in her wallet, and she wrote a backstory to her. We put that onto the NFT itself, and she's become a character in the IP. So she's in the novel, she's in the book, the game. So you'll see her card here. And this is from the new deck, the new Valkyrie deck. So there she is. She's a heroic creature. Those are her abilities on the bottom. And that's the amazing custom art by Frank for her.
And I say it's right. There's so many different ways to become a character in this world, right? You know, it's from digital collectibles to just being a part of the community to taking part in the trading card game with us. It's endless, I think, of ways that you could become a character in this world, right? And it gives you the opportunity, like you said, to become a character in the future novels, right? Because there is 3 in this series, but doesn't mean that's where it all ends. And I mean, with the Seither Chronicles, it's just beginning, right? So this is something that's going to continue on, and there's so many opportunities to kind of immortalize yourself in the Battle Bunnies world and become wherever you want to be.
Yeah, and you're never too late. Like, we're going to be doing booster packs and, you know, ever evolving this game. So, you know, even if you are just hearing about this now and this is 5 years from now, you can still jump in the game. We have so many more creatures to come, so many more collections. So there's never going to be a time where you're too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and I think
that's the
too
whole,
is like being a part of this and being a character in the game is something so unique for this game and this community. Not only the game too, right? The books and stuff, but just that experience of being able to share that with your friends and family. You know, that's something that, like, even growing up as a kid, as a player, like playing games and card games, and just kind of being enamored by these cards and the art, and man, you know, just fantasizing at how cool that would be. Like, oh man, that should be me, or blah blah, you know, like. And now there's this. That's the one thing that I think is so special about this, about Seither Chronicles, is having that opportunity to share that with your kids, your family, whoever, you know, and being immortalized by that. So,
I mean, look, just for example, let's be honest. We know everybody loves playing, you know, pretending to be a character in the Harry Potter universe. We know how much I love pretending to be a character in the Star Wars universe, right? But that's all it is, right? It's like, is a universe there that you get to pretend that you're a character in. But this isn't pretend, right? This in the Battle Bunnies universe, you actually get to become the character in this world, right? And so it's like a way to give all of us that wish we had those opportunities, make it a reality with the Battle Bunnies. So now that we've given you a little rundown and stuff, I think we're gonna really get into the background and stuff of
yeah.
the
Let's
game.
just kind of take it back to the beginning, real quick before we get to the new stuff. Let's talk about where we started and how much this game has evolved. I think Melly should probably take this one.
Yep.
Sorry.
yeah.
Used to calling you Melly.
Yeah. No, call me whatever. It's all good. No, chat's popping off right now. Great to see everyone this evening. Hope everyone having a good night. But yeah, so this journey's been going on for about a couple years now, and it has gone, just like Hoplite, right? He goes through all these different parts and faces these challenges and evolves along the way, you know, and I think that's very true for the progression of what we're creating here, you know, coming from the first iterations of the game, going through testing, and then getting to where we were just about a year ago in Richmond, releasing our first starter decks, the Vikings and Pirates. And now, as we turn the page, being able to release more classes, the pirates, or excuse me, the shamans and the Valkyries. You know, we as we develop more, you know, we've had to kind of rework some mechanics just to uh, kind of solidify the foundation of the game going forward. So and the biggest thing was, just working on attacking and defending and stuff like that. So,
How long did you spend on the first on the alpha decks? How long did
this image here is prior alpha deck.
we're going
This is pre-alpha deck right there.
Yeah, so they're playing in this photo. They're playing with printouts from Staples, probably.
That's right, and that's actually Lord Elrug right there, one of the very first people, all the way from Australia, in Richmond, Virginia, play testing with Staples printout cards. The first iteration of the Seither Chronicles.
Oh man, I have a few somewhere around me, but
go ahead, Ishmael.
Oh yeah, that took about just about a year to get to where we were for Richmond last year, with those with the Pirates and Vikings, and that was awesome. We hit, my screen is blocking it out, but had the starter decks there. But so yeah, just about a year getting those classes and that game together.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to touch on something, because when we were talking about making a game in the beginning, we had the idea of like, let's make 2 different versions, right? So let's make like a kid version that like a 6-7-year-old could play no problem, and then let's make one for the TCGers, like for the real gamers, the older kids, the adults, stuff like that. And we ended up kind of going with an in between. And now that we've, we're a couple years in and we've evolved it and we're bringing out these new classes, now we realize, okay, we need to get more into that war version, or that bigger version that we had talked about in the beginning, because that's going to be the sustainable move. So that's why we are re-releasing the Viking and Pirate decks. They're completely different from the first version. But that's why, because this is going to be more sustainable. It's allowing us to be able to grow the game easier. There's not going to be any more re-releases or anything like that. This is the game now, moving forward.
And we can evolve from this foundation now, right? And that's what it was. If you want to talk about the alpha decks a little bit, right?
Yeah.
That maybe kind of put us at a point. It was just such a great base game, man. It really was. But we realized that the evolution of it might stop us in a lot of, from going in certain directions. And that kind of had to be evolved. And I know we had long conversations about that, Melly, and I wasn't so sure about it, but you were really confident, man, and you knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, listen, right? That first iteration that everyone experienced and played over the past year or so, or 2 years, there's a lot of things that are really great about that really created a great experience in terms of a card game for this. So we took all the things that were working really, really well and let it be, right? And essentially just tweak the things that needed to be improved upon. So, if you played this game, or the last time you played this game, and you come into the new version now, it's still going to have that same identity. It's just an improved experience in terms of attacking and defending, or what So there's just a couple name changes on things, but really the skeleton of what to expect when playing the game is absolutely intact, because it's a winning formula. And there's a lot of testaments on how we can showcase that.
Yeah, we basically just added layers on top of what we had, because we had a great base. It was just a little too simple to be sustainable for the future, for future decks, more creatures, booster packs, all that stuff. We realized it was going to be difficult. So we're excited to get into the new stuff. And then I just want to mention, so this was the first set of the Hollow Heroes. These were originally supposed to be 300 cards. We didn't make it to that though. So it's, what is it, Frank?
It's about 80 something of each of them were printed.
Yeah, so if you have these, they're super rare. And all of this is the alpha deck. So this new version is going to be the beta.
Right. Yep. The gold edition, and then there was the silver edition, which was the second print. of that first run. So those are technically now super collectible as time goes on. When you think about it years from now and where the Seither Chronicles is going to be, you're going to be like, oh my God, I remember the game.
This is going to be like those really old Star Wars toys, like in the plastic and stuff.
Right? And so everybody's like, oh my God, I shouldn't have opened mine. Because there are no more first printing gold editions. Those were all sold out a while ago. But we do still have those quite a bit of silver editions left, but So let's
all right.
Continue on. So we're going to get into 2.0 now. Is that where we're going? Seither Chronicles 2.0, new game.
We actually revamped the logo as well. We made we did that for a few different reasons, actually, like mechanics. We wanted Seither to be more of the attention grabber there. So some people already call it just Seither. So yeah, the logo got a makeover. Everything got a makeover. The back of the card did stay the same. It's just beautiful.
And that's the thing too, right? It was, and keep in mind too, especially going from last year, Richmond last year with the release of everything and the Seither Cup and playing through League, right? We got a lot of feedback. We had a lot of players touch these cards, and it was awesome, and that was something that was so special for me to see that is so many people take a liking to it, but also share feedback, right? And taking an opportunity throughout this past year of not only identifying the things within the things that we saw that could be improved upon, but also hearing what the community had to share, and really took that close to the game, and now provided really took that into account with the release of these decks. So you're going to see a lot of different cards that are fitting that bill of some of the feedback that people exercised previously.
Yeah, it's true, because it wasn't just Richmond, right? We've done quite a few shows since then, and the time, the feedback, the players that have come in, the community
really put the game to the test.
Yeah, and took part in helping us develop, right? I mean, that'll give a lot of credit to all the play testers, all the people behind the development with you, and really putting everybody's heads together to turn this into what it's become and what we're going to show you guys today.
Yeah.
So we're going to start it off.
Yep. We're going to jump into the cards, the different kinds of cards. We're just going to kind of show you the differences from alpha decks to beta decks. That way you can kind of get familiar with what's changed. So here are the new decks. We don't have a box set like we did the first round. So these are individual decks. We do have bundles that you'll be able to grab if you want to just get everything together. But the actual box for these decks is a single deck box.
And these are mock-ups right now that were put together.
Yeah, this is not final photos. We have not received them yet. They'll be here next week. So once we get them, we can take really nice pictures.
As a matter of fact, I got the email. They were all shipped today. So all the decks were shipped today. So there you go. That's news for all of you watching. I got the official email with tracking, and all the new decks have been shipped.
These are awesome. How cool are these guys? Come on. These are amazing.
So, and wait till you open them up, right? Because if you like the outside of the box, so much work went into designing this, sides and the back of the box, but even the inside of the box. I mean, I'm just
we had a little fun.
Almost looks like a cover of a book.
You would think that, right?
Yeah. Huh. Super awesome. You guys crushed that.
Yeah, the class icons got like a makeover, I guess you could say, designed by Creature. So we have simple class icons now that are also on the cards. So it's all cohesive. So let's get into it. So creatures, heroes. If you want to kind of go through Creature, the differences on the cards.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that's great, because we'll show you the original, what most of you guys are familiar with, and how just the cards have evolved over the whole.
Chaz, funny right now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that left is the cards that we've known and we've seen throughout the past year. And on the right is where we're at with the card template now, and again with the feedback and just our own observations on what and how we wanted to improve. So over on the big thing I would say is the rune templates or the border of the cards, right? We improved the clarity of the overall runes. We initially went with more of a glowy application to it and then just kind of cleaned it up for more clarity to showcase that nice, elegant rune design and also to give host to some different attributes on the card to fit a little more comfortably. And then the next biggest thing I would probably say on the new card on that right hand side on the beta decks is that top right corner, that icon is the class icon in which this card, King Harold, belongs to. So before, on the left-hand side, the yellow runes indicated that King Harold belonged to the Viking classes. So, and that was cool. Love that instant color connection when looking at the cards. But we wanted to improve for players to help identify which cards belong to which class. So we incorporated and created that class icon nice and big on that top right part. So it helps with people being able to know
instantly
it just
recognize.
reinforces it. Yeah.
Yep. Again,
So,
and that is also valuable feedback from people playing, right? Because we thought about the colors were great, but then we realized some people don't see colors like others, and it's not that instantly recognizable to know which class you're playing. And so we listened, we heard, and this was, I feel, such a wonderful change to the cards.
Yeah. So, and then we took that row icon. So on the original one, that row icon, that little dagger icon on the old card on the left-hand side, on the top right, we just moved it right under the Seither number. As we see King Harold, we see that dagger just moved right below it. So what's cool too is when you fan out the cards, when you're holding them in your hand, the Seither number is like the first thing you'll see, and then it also is paired with that row icon. So now players will have just a quick look, register which row and how much Seither it has. So it helps just that being able to identify where to go with it. So just know or keep that in mind when it's like, oh, I'm not sure, it just got moved to the left. So,
It makes it easy because it's right under your Seither. So
yeah,
everything's on top.
I mean, look, even the text, right? The content, the abilities, all of that is so much clearer, larger in the card, easier to read by using, you replaced words with the icons, so you can instantly recognize right side, or instantly recognize the class, or
absolutely. So King Harold got a bit of upgrade in his ability as well, as we see the comparison between the two, but that overall just representation of what the text is, we were able to clean up and help with clarity using those icons.
So this is what creatures will look like, right? So that's a little bit. I know want to get into the next card.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, go ahead.
The other thing we did was lighten the cards. So the cards were a bit dark, the actual parts of the cards. So we made them lighter. So everything should, not print as dark. And so they'll be easier to read as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
So Spies.
Evolution too, right? Of artwork.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Spies got a lot of changes, which made more sense as we were working through it.
Yeah, so Spies is a ability type that certain creatures can inherit. And Spies are like, people really enjoyed playing Spies, especially Sharkbait. He was the leader. He was one of the most played cards. And essentially the idea of a spy is when you play it, you are able to put it on your opponent's side of their field. And it does just that. It's acting essentially undercover on your opponent's side, and they can definitely cause some mischief and do have some additional effects, which has definitely been a lot of fun for players to kind of exercise some different strategies. With that, though, when it comes down to it, when determining and defining that ability type, there were some loose ends that we just wanted to kind of clean up and give a little more sense to. So players have just an overall clearer idea of how to play them and how to manage them as well. So initially, so we use the terminology of friendly. Anything that is friendly is yours. That is your creature, your card in play, and anything that is your opponent's is your foe, right? So initially, when spies were, when it's played on your opponent's side, it is their card. So, and then there's other cards that can interact with friendly creatures. It created just a little bit of mess sometimes. So we just wanted to clean it up to where now that the player that plays the spy, it is still their card. It is still friendly to them. So you weren't able to do certain things that you were before, but with the idea that it was just a clearer, smoother gameplay experience utilizing those cards. But also too, they had to give up some of their power, but now they can also be attacked. But they can also attack creatures as well. The thing with that is you just have to be adjacent to a spy for a spy to attack them, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
I love the changes.
It definitely was a great change to the spy card, which we know everybody loved using spies. So
yeah, they're one of my favorites, especially Sharkbait, and the artwork Frank did is so good.
Yeah, we could say, yeah, I'm just to see the evolution of Sharkbait is cool because we know he was definitely one of the favorites.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the artillery because we know we got some changes made.
Wow.
Yes, Sharkbait. So there we go. All right, pull up some artillery. One you guys were all familiar with and should recognize. Another very extremely played card.
Yeah. I mean, shout out Drywall, the homie, for showing us the way here with Queen Hair's Revenge. And so artillery is a unique type of card. Not every class will natively have artillery to them right away, right? You have to think about it in terms of your lore and experience. You know, you're not always gonna, shamans may not have artillery per se, right? But it makes sense for pirates to have them in other classes, right? So, but this is definitely a big piece for the pirate class. It's the artillery is played on that third row as indicated by that cannon icon. And artillery have unique abilities, and they also have a unique ability type. As we see there, it says break -2. So essentially, you're able to use that card's ability, that break ability that we see underneath the word break. And the number next to the break indicates how many times you can use that card's ability before it essentially breaks and is actually removed and discarded from play. So you have to be strategic how and when you want to use something like Queen Hair's Revenge's ability, because it's not unlimited. You use it too many times, it goes away. So
you lose a very, I was going to say, you lose a very valuable Seither count right there too, right? When the idea is to collect the most Seither in order to win the round. I mean, you could see Queen Hair's, holds a large Seither count right there. So it really is a sacrifice. So that makes you make that choice. Sorry, Krista.
Yeah.
You're fine. I love the changes with Queen Hair's Revenge because it really makes more sense with it being a ship. You no longer just deal damage to an entire row, which doesn't make like a ton of sense unless you're shooting like a ton of cannons. But now you're actually dealing 4 damage straight ahead, and then you can move now left or right, which is huge. We didn't have that before. In the first round of the game, you couldn't move anything ever, and so we did bring a lot of that into this round, especially with the Valkyries. They're moving all over the place, but it's really cool for the ships to be able to move. I don't know that I like it.
Yeah.
And when you're on the seas, you know, you gotta
Yeah, I gotta readjust. I can go over here, go over here.
So yeah, exactly that, right? It was a cool rework on the overall ability design of it. I agree. I absolutely love that movement aspect to it. But the other thing too is, if you're on the opposing side of Queen Hare's Revenge, now each of the 4 starter decks, right? They now have ranged creatures, whereas before it was just pirates and Vikings, right? It was just predominantly combat, that first row. So now each of the 4 starter decks have ranged creatures with ranged weapons, and ranged weapons can target and deal damage to artillery. So Queen Hare's Revenge was once this impenetrable force that could not be tampered with. It was only at the player's expense of using their break twice to get out of play, essentially. But now that barrier has been pulled down, and the scales have been balanced with the use of artillery and being able to play around it.
Yeah, agree to everything, and that's awesome, Carly. That's really great to hear, and that's what our goal was, to make everything clear. You know, even the wording on the cards, it's all, in my opinion, very clear. And I'm not a TCGer either, even though now I am. But I still like look at it, you know, not with the mind of like, I've been playing these games for years and I know what you mean. Like I read it like, do I know what it means right off the bat? And so that's something I hope that comes through in this version too. There should be as much like, well, I'm not sure what that means and stuff.
Well, I think it's great, right, Krista, that we're able to work close through this development of this next set too, right? Because we're kind of at 2 different ends of the spectrum with experience in terms of this. So it was like, hey, I'll start with this idea, and you'd help translate it to something that's way more digestible and we're still achieving the same thing. So I think the dichotomy between the relationship and working together with different people has really allowed us to get to a stage where we have a great product, we have a great card that allows other people to help kind of approach this game where maybe they otherwise wouldn't have,
Well,
so.
you know what? Let's look at it this way. We had 2 different sides of things, right? Now, you were our hardcore TCG card game player, all of that stuff. And so when asked to create the game for the Battle Buddies world, right, you kind of realized we need to build a game that TCGers are going to love, right? That card game people are going to love, because that's how you're going to attract them. But now on our side of things, right, and Krista's side of things, it's like, no, we want a game that's going to be easy to pick up, easy to understand, that anybody could play, because we want to be able to welcome new players, right? So we had to really find that balance. And I think that transition from the original alphas to now the betas, where you have somebody like Krista who just said, look, I don't play these games often, I'm not familiar. And then she goes and wins last season's league, right? Against people who are familiar. So means like somebody like her could pick it up easily, learn the game, understand how to play.
If I can do it, y'all can do it.
And they'll beat the pants off people. So, right. And that just shows the real sense of balance.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
All right, we're going to talk a little about weapons.
Yeah, the hook.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the big redesign really kind of focused around weapons and shields and attacking, defending, right? So in terms of card design, this is going to be the most that a player is going to see within a card design in terms of elements and attributes. So initially, if we take a look at that left example of Captain's Hook, we see something in the top left where it says level 1. We see something in the ability type where it says full attack, and then the ability description. And where we wanted to improve upon were some just the construction and how they essentially are dealing damage and how we represent that. So we were able to take away that level 1 in that top left. That's where Seither goes. So that's where we wanted to get that away, because players were getting confused on, oh, does the Captain's Hook have 1 Seither to it? I'm not too sure what was going on. So it was just a clear excuse me, it was just a clear redesign on that, just to omit that level 1 there. And then
we turned level 1 and 2 into base and forge, which you'll see in other slides here. So level 1 is now your base, which is easy to understand.
Yeah, this was, I think, one of the most dramatic changes, right, in the game as well, was really understanding the attack defense mechanisms and working with the weapons and shields. And
it gave you guys more Seither. So the weapon now has, like this one has 3 Seither. So it's going to be added to your creature, giving your creature more total Seither, which is the name of the game.
Yeah. So, yeah, especially in that first iteration that we experienced before, attacking was predominantly one-sided. So it was essentially a race to get your weapon on and attack. And, those scales were very topsy-turvy for sure. So we really wanted to kind of give that player that defending opportunity, or at least to level it off. So to where that full attack was indicative of the creature's Seither, and that was how much damage was being dealt. We redesigned that whole concept to where now on that right hand side, that right card, if we take a look at that bottom left hand part of the card, we see those crossed little swords that damage weapon icon, and the number next to it. That's how much damage is being dealt from your creature, regardless of how much Seither the creature has. So 5 damage is always being dealt when you have Captain's Hook equipped to it. And the balance to that is there's a resource cost. And this, which is the bottom right, where we see that little Seither drop icon with the minus symbol next to it, and with 3. So every time when you equip Captain's Hook to a creature, and you declare an attack from that creature, 3 Seither will be deducted from that creature's total Seither. So it essentially, what we did to kind of summarize the change to attacking and defending was the utilization of Seither, in which is the flowing resource that circles this game. So we're taking the creature's actual Seither and turned it into that resource that every time you attack it, because you have to think about it too. When you're in battle,
the more you attack, right? Eventually, the more tired you get, the more winded you get, whatever, and it's kind of costing you your own resources. So it's a similar aspect that we really wanted to add into battle.
Melly's having technical difficulty.
That's okay. We got you covered, Melly. We got you covered.
Sorry.
No, you're good, buddy. So I was talking a little about the resource and using it, and
you're gonna get tired. You're gonna, it should take Seither to attack, and so that's what we've done. It makes a lot more sense. The full attack, half attack is gone. It's now one-handed and two-handed, and hey, you have 2 hands. So if you have 2 one-handed items, you're good. If you have a 2-handed item, you can't fit anymore on your creature. And so
also having the Seither resource on there now is a cost, which means it makes you think a little bit more. Just because you have a weapon on, should I attack? Will I attack? It's going to make you, I guess, kind of battle a little more strategically now.
Yes, there's so much more strategy you can do now with this version of the game.
Yeah, it opened up a lot of different avenues and strategies, and those micro choices for the players. It really leaves that decision. But you have to keep in mind, too, at the end of the day, having the most Seither in play is still your win condition, right? So don't get distracted at these cool, fancy weapons sometimes. It may cost you in the end. So choosing when to attack at the right time can make all the difference in the game, And even upgrading from a base weapon to a forged weapon, it does some cool flashy stuff, deals a lot of damage, but it's also going to cost a fair amount of Seither to do so.
Awesome. All right, let's get on to defending. Since we've been attacking, how do we defend ourselves?
More weapons. Oh yeah, these are weapons.
Oh, this was just to show the base to the forge.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I skipped a step.
No, keep it here though. This is a good one.
You know what? That's good, Krista, because there was the question that was posed. The Poker Society said, right, with it being base, does that mean there can be a modifier to the weapon to create a more powerful weapon, right? And so here's the answer to that.
Perfect.
Right. So yeah, essentially that first iteration was level 1, and then the next turn you can essentially upgrade it to a level 2 weapon. Same concept, same application of how you do that. We just took out levels and replaced it with base. So under the name of the card, you'll see that base - Odin. And then you can take the new heroic inventory card, Valkyrie, which is a forged weapon, and upgrade that Warhammer into Valkyrie. So same concept, same thing, everything. It's just kind of cleaning up that, how we represented information on the card, and also turned it into something that was just more fitting for the theme and the direction of the game.
And I do want to point out too, if you notice, right, you have the base, you have the forge, but this is specifically to the god Odin, right? Which means that the base and the forge should match, right? You're going to forge into another.
That's called the origin. So
right.
we brought in some of the gods from the Battle Bunnies lore that we already have, in place to the game. And so they just have to match. So you can't take a base Odin and forge a Freya weapon.
But we do, there is, what I was going to say is, right, there is classless or nomad weapons that have different bases and different forge, and they're not tied to origin, right? And so essentially you can then go based on those. So not all are tied to an origin like that.
Yeah, and the same rule set too applies. If you have a combat base weapon equipped to a creature, you have to, if you want to forge it, you would have to forge into a combat forge. You can't equip a forged ranged weapon to it. So all the same rule set still applies. It was just the terminology and how we, kind of constructed these weapons and shields.
Yeah, but the other new thing is the one-handed, two-handed thing. So if you are planning on forging a two-handed weapon, make sure you don't equip a shield, or vice versa. If you want to forge a two-handed shield, I'm not sure if we have those.
We do.
Two-handed shields, yeah.
Yeah, then you cannot, don't put a weapon on there because you only have two hands.
And you'll be forced to discard that weapon into your feral pile.
Yeah, so this was another addition to the game upon just kind of reworking that attacking and defending. And so originally you can have 2 inventory items equipped to a creature at once. That is still true. You can have 2 one-handed items, inventory cards, equipped to a single creature. So some of the more powerful weapons or shields, they will be two-handed. So that single card will take up both of those equipped slots. So again, just kind of, echoing off of what Chris was saying is, you definitely got to be careful about those choices and the direction you want to go in, right? So the Valkyries, they introduce these awesome bows that have lots of really cool effects to them. But because bows and ranged weapons have access to pretty much anything in play, they are all two-handed bows. So you cannot equip a shield to them or anything else to them.
It's hard to shoot a bow with one hand, though.
Yeah, I mean,
how are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you might have a
Bunnies.
saying, you could make a little mini bow or
Bunnies
something.
use the feet.
Yeah. I hear you, Eric. I hear you. But no, this helped with pacing. This helped with kind of that scale of power as well. So definitely keep an eye when playing through and having these weapons and shields in your hand, how you want to go.
Yeah, and speaking of, let's talk about the shields, right? Because that's those have changed from the original Atlas.
Yeah, so the shields from before, same thing too, where they had that level indicator on the top left, we got rid of that. Same thing, we have base shields and forged shields. So shields, similar to weapons, they have if we look at the bottom left, they have their shield icon and their defense number. So when you equip this ironclad shield to a creature, every time it receives, that creature is going to be attacked, it is blocking forward damage being dealt to that creature. Okay. So if an
It
opposing
doesn't cost anything because there's no number on the other side. So it's just blocking 4. It has a break of 2.
Yep.
So you can use it twice.
Yeah, so that was through early testing, we didn't have that break on there and realized that shields were just a bit too strong. So we had to create that limiter by having that break feature on those shields, which makes sense too. You know, again, trying to think back at it, you know, a shield can be broken over time. But yeah,
There's also so much more to the strategy behind attacking and defending, right? That was really such a huge impact on the base mechanics of Seither Chronicles from alpha to beta.
Yeah. Yes, Carly. Yeah, similar concept of that evolution, right? Yeah, similar concept to that, to where you just start off with your base, and then you players will have a choice to upgrade to a stronger version of it. Yep. So, and that's the thing too, is some of these weapons and shields, right? That they have abilities that's kind of synergize with each other as well. So you kind of want to align different cards to pull off certain strategies with it.
And also, just like based on like what Carly was saying about evolving in the middle of the game, and like the new starter decks that we're releasing don't have many forged in it, right? It's got quite a few bases and stuff, but it has opened us up now with forging weapons and doing this so much to be able to evolve battles in the future between classes, right? So this was just such a great change within everything because of all these different weapon types, forge types, origins that we could play with, and how they could impact and affect your heroes and creatures in play.
Yep.
Limitless.
Tell you, those comments get so distracting here. You know, Miss Firefly, that would be a great card, and we appreciate that.
All right, Frank, this is the shaman area here.
Yes, this is a new this is a whole new thing, right? This did not exist in the last one, but neither did the shaman class, which I am very excited about, as you can see from my jersey and me repping my team this evening. So
one day you're a Viking, one day you're a shaman. What it?
Make up your mind.
I can be whatever I want, whenever I want. So take us through some potions, Melly, because this really has become a game changer, bringing in the shamans and what they're able to do.
Yeah. So this is really cool. Shamans, I was really excited for, as they are the first magic casters of the of the classes being released here. So, and not only that too, but they also introduce a new type of inventory, which are these potions that you'll see here. There are also, I believe there's like 6 potion cards in the starter deck. So we're definitely going to be able to experience a fair amount of what's going on here. But these potions are inventory, so you can equip them. All potions are one-handed items. Okay. So you can still have a wand equipped to your shaman, and you can have a potion equipped to your shaman. All right.
Which also, you can see up at top right, they have the ability for origins as well, and to be forged, right? Just like weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. So these potions are a little different too. Same thing with base and forged. Potions will have weak brews and potent brews. Okay, so as featured in the Shaman starter deck, we're just starting off with weak brews just to introduce the concept of potions to get the players adjusted to it. And down the road, we can expect to see some really cool, unique potions with some powerful abilities. So the baseline for these potions too is also how a player goes about equipping potions and how to use them throughout their game. So we see on the potion itself, we see an equip and a throw. So same thing too. The first turn a player equips a potion, or excuse me, a player has to equip a potion to their shaman first. It gets an effect, as we see underneath, and then that player can throw that equipped potion as early as their next turn. So there's an effect for having a potion equipped to it, and there's an effect for throwing it. Both of those effects or abilities, they play off of each other, or they kind of have similarities, you know. So as we see with the Shaman Serum, when you equip it to the Shaman, you get you're able to deal +1 damage from any wand from your wand attacks. So if you have a wand in one hand and the Shaman Serum in the other hand, when you go to attack with your wand, you're dealing +1 more damage to whatever is being dealt from your wand, right? So that's pretty cool. It's a modifier, like it's a attack modifier when equipped. And then if you're like, you know what, it's time to throw this thing, you just go ahead and hurl it at one of your opponent's creatures, and you're able to deal 2 damage to a foe's creature, right?
Well,
so,
but in doing so, you'll no longer get the benefit of having it equipped. So once again, you have to make the decision how it's going to play out, and you know, if that's the right choice at the time.
Yeah,
which is cool. You have options with your different weapons, and I love how that evolved. You know, like has brought an evolution to what.
Yeah, it was a fun challenge too, because I think there's a lot of different ways to kind of interpret how to utilize these types of cards. I believe where we landed with it is a lot of fun because of that power of choice, you know, and have the malleability between these cards of, you know, just letting it sit, letting it marinate on that creature for a while, and then out of nowhere you just throw it. You know, it's really interesting to see the different tactics that players will come up with. So, and we just started off nice and easy with the potions, as we essentially created a potion that is a attack modifier, meaning you're going to be able to deal more damage when attacking. We created a defensive potion, as we see here with Dragon Scale Elixir, right? Because when it's equipped, it takes 2 less damage from attacks. You know, we have a draw support potion. We have some ability disruption potions. So what we do with them is very open-ended. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And once again, this opens us up to being able to create endless ways for the shamans to battle and have different mechanics behind just their class alone, right? So this was just another great thing, I think, added within the weapons and all of that. You could see where the evolution easily comes now, and why all of this changed and made such a huge impact on the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is native to shamans, right? You can't go run and equip a potion to a Viking. I'm sorry, Jalil, you can't. So just keep that in mind when getting into your decks.
Yeah, these are only in the shaman decks.
But doesn't mean that in the future now, right, we couldn't have elixirs or certain healing potion, right? It's just, once again, this opens it up for things like that. You know, it's possible other classes could have certain things in the future. We don't know, but we have.
You heard it here first.
But I will say this leads us to something also really new and exciting, and that's status effects, right? So now between the potions and what we're going to learn about the Valkyrie classes and a lot of the new weapons, there's all new statuses that can impact the gameplay as well.
Carly, can sorcerers throw books? maybe.
That's a possibility.
Carly, I'm another fellow sorcerer, so believe me, I'm very excited to be writing the next classes. So we're definitely gonna have to get together and have some chats for sure. But so yeah.
Hold on, one second. And just to answer John again, the equip effect does go away when you throw it. If you no longer have the potion and are utilizing the second effect, the throw effect, you will now lose it because you no longer have it equipped. And you would have to discard the potion as well once thrown.
Yeah, the card's gone, so it all gone.
Yep.
So, yep, let's talk about some of these new weapons that we're seeing in the game.
Yeah,
and the new
so
status effects that they bring along with them.
yeah, this is awesome here. So we're showcasing the status effects, but we're also showcasing 2 new weapons as well: the Poison Wand and Frostbite. Ooh. Poison Wand. So we see here that poison is being mentioned in that effect. So poison. When a creature is poisoned, you essentially just put a green marker on that creature to show that it is poisoned, and the the player that inflicts poison to the creature, when that player ends their turn, the poison creature receives 1 poison damage, meaning you reduce their Seither by 1. So every time your opponent ends their turn, you lose 1 Seither. So it's essentially damage over time. So, the poison is the illness that infected the creature. So they're slowly getting weaker and weaker. So you got to be careful. Keep an eye on those poison creatures. Valkyries offer healing properties to them.
How do you get the poison off? Don't you roll the die?
So there's no once it's poisoned, it's poisoned. Unlike being frozen, right?
Okay, it's a freeze.
Yeah, you would essentially have to have a way to heal the card by the effects of a different treasure card, or maybe there's another creature that heals poison directly from a creature, right? So, or if you're able to essentially remove the card from play, like a noble retreat. You can noble retreat a creature that is poisoned, return it back to your hand, and if you were to play that creature again, it would no longer be poisoned. So there's a few different ways to kind of play with status effects and how to cure creatures of it.
No, it's cool. That's exciting. The poison is exciting, and we have little status markers for you guys in the bundle, so it'll come with the green, the blue, and the pink, so you can kind of mark, what's going on and keep track. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's the thing too, right? Is these shamans, they don't naturally have higher Seither powers to them, like Miss Firefly. She's jacked over here at 6. They have about a moderate to lower amounts of Seither to their creatures, and the amount of damage coming from shamans isn't the most overwhelming like you would see from Vikings per se, but it's about how it's within their tactics and how you kind of manipulate numbers. So those little numbers, like that 1 poison damage over time, is certainly going to add up. And those shamans are going to play around with that poison to really kind of start breaking away at your opponent's board state. So even smaller numbers can have a big payoff. And that's kind of what the shamans are about. So
yeah, they can be really powerful.
Yeah, and the Valkyries are definitely a force to be reckoned with. I know we showed Miss Firefly earlier on, but now that we have her up here, right, this is the first time you've really seen that glide, and Sacred Barrier, right, which really
let's just touch on the freeze real quick, and then we can end with Sacred Barrier.
Yeah, I thought I heard you mention freeze before.
Freeze is nice and easy here too. Essentially, once you freeze a character or a creature, excuse me, it can't. So you freeze a creature, right, during your attack, your turn ends. When it's that player's turn, at the beginning of their turn, you roll a die, flip a coin, whichever, it's fine. And you determine, and if it lands on heads, you're able to essentially roll or flip out of being frozen. So.
And the freezing just freezes your abilities, and it makes you not able to attack. So it can be really powerful against like echo abilities. Like they're not able to do that echo. Like here, if Miss Firefly was frozen, she wouldn't be able to glide. So it's a big
So essentially, it nullifies the character's abilities and anything they can do until they're unfrozen.
Just envision that creature being frozen in a block of ice. It can't do anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's also really great against creatures with guard, right? Which we know is taunt or a tank. Somebody has that on the board. If you freeze their tank, then that taunt is nullified, or essentially their guard is nullified, and now you could attack on through to other creatures on the board.
Yeah. So there's no turn limit on being frozen. It's unlimited if you get bad RNG. Unfortunately, if you keep rolling tails or flipping odds, whatever, you're gonna be frozen, man.
It's like being in jail in Monopoly.
Yeah. You gotta keep rolling
except you can't pay off your opponent to get out, but well, maybe you can. Who knows, right?
So that doesn't necessarily mean either in the future that you won't have other creatures or other treasure cards or certain things that can nullify freeze on your characters, right? But this is how the freeze mechanic works now. And honestly, when it comes down to odds, there's only so bad your RNG could be that you could keep rolling heads or tails or odds over evens.
And if that's what the meta becomes, is a bunch of status effects, then the way you counter that is with a bunch of healing cards, and then you can heal off frozen as soon as it's your turn again, right? That's the cause and effect. So, ebbs and flows. So and it's just that shift. So it goes through that.
So you want to hop into the Sacred Barrier, because that's one of the new status effects, and maybe talk a little about the glide.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sacred Barrier is the new
shield. Well, it's a barrier, essentially, right? It's like a magical shield.
It's like an invisible shield, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a temporary barrier that can go on a creature. So the first time your opponent attacks the creature with Sacred Barrier, it does not receive damage or effects from the attack. And then as soon as that creature gets hit from the attack, that barrier is now gone, and now they're open for an attack. So it's actually a really, really effective way to kind of prolong the survivability of some of the creatures as well.
And I think that's what makes this Firefly's card also so brilliant, right? She has the new glide, which allows her to move around the board to all different spaces, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one unique ability type that is being introduced with the Valkyries, as they are represented in the story and lore, is they're able to glide around and do their thing. So we really wanted to showcase a lot of movement abilities in this starter deck with the Valkyries. So you're going to see a lot of these key creatures with that glide ability. So once during your turn, you can use a glide, and you can move Miss Firefly from where she was to another position on your side of the field. And that means anywhere on that ranged row, and even that combat row as well. So you can really break that mold of what they're originally confined to with this unique movement ability.
You could see her now gliding around the board and giving Sacred Barrier to other Valkyries, right? On the field, and essentially protecting them as the battles go on and trying to keep them, standing.
Yeah, and it's cool because there's some creatures and some weapons and some types of cards that attack very specifically in one area. So being able to move around can really disrupt your opponent's strategy that is banking on the isolated positions of some of the creatures.
So yeah, we're excited for you guys to really get your hands on these and try out all these new mechanics, new status effects, new weapons. But so like, since we've kind of shown you a little bit, we're going to talk about now. This is completely new, right, to the game, and we realized
we have Seither cards.
The game is called the Seither Chronicles. Well, you got to have some Seither in the game, right? So
yeah, we're bringing you 10 of them. That's why these decks are now 60 cards. 10 of those cards are Seither cards. You're going to get a bunch of drops. You're going to get some flasks, and you're going to get a couple bladders. And this is like game-changing, crazy town.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the addition of this way of attacking and being exhausted of your Scyther, right? You get a fresh new card type with these Scyther drops, being able to replenish the creature's Scyther. Not only replenish, but you can also power them up to new Scyther power higher than before. So really extending their ability to attack and just deal blow after blow, or at least be able to sway your board state for the end game to win with the most Scyther in the end. So yeah, we have the Scyther drop, the iconic Scyther drop, which just simply gives +1 Scyther to a friendly creature, and whereas they're just given one, you don't have any limit to how many you can play them. And then, right, these are essentially the 3 stages to the Scyther cards. We have essentially that base one, the Scyther Flask that gives +3 Scyther to a friendly creature. Because it's a little stronger, you can only play 1 per turn. And then the strong one, we have the Scyther Bladder that allows you to give +2 Scyther for each of your Scyther drops that in your feral pile to your creatures however you like, and then you're able to rescue all of those Scyther drops back into your deck. So it's a really cool way to kind of recycle those resources back into play for later, or back into your deck for later.
Yeah.
And so now we are going to talk about treasures and traps.
Everybody wants to see the back of your jersey.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're dying.
Somebody, if
I'm
I
pretty sure
stand
Disco
up,
said
the
take it
off.
screen is gonna
Gotta
do
wait.
some crazy stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah, we can post some pictures later, y'all, in the Discord.
and then my veil will be broken. See, we can't have that. I'm really in Mystic Mirror with myself. Off the mat.
All right, so Scyther cards obviously all brand new.
Yep, and
this was another major change. But other than Call to Valhalla, most of the treasures didn't get like a ton of like a huge makeover. We do still have King's Private Stock and things like that. We did upgrade some of the artwork, and we added some treasures, so you might see some new ones that you haven't seen before.
So, and so you guys are familiar with this, so we figured we'd show you, but Cult of Valhalla, one of the most played treasure cards out there, right? So I was like, you know what, let's put some unique and original artwork on Cult of Valhalla. Eventually, all the treasure cards will have their unique and original artwork, right? And we're getting there. If you notice, you started to see sneak peeks of a lot of the weapon cards got art upgrades, and character cards got art upgrades, right? But there's so many that, we got whatever we can done. And I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised to see all the new artwork in these decks. So, and then there's traps also went with treasure cards. That was, I know, people's favorites. So if you want to pop up our trap cards, you just, where are our traps?
It's all right. We
don't have traps.
All right, well, traps are similar to treasures. So you know what? And we got a couple that got some little art upgrades, but let's move in because this is a huge change right now, right? Not huge, you're still familiar with it, but the Mysterious Stranger was a card type. And it's no longer a card type, right? We now have turned them into chapters. The Mysterious Stranger card type has become chapters, and the Mysterious Stranger themselves have now become an actual card.
I find it interesting that the trap card graphic went missing.
Yeah, that is. Funny enough.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah. So same with Mysterious Strangers, right? You could only play 1 per turn. Same everything. It's just a name change. Mysterious Stranger, and this was mostly due to like a lore thing and kind of utilizing Mysterious Stranger as an actual character rather than an overall card type, and just wanted to find a name that represented the card type more effectively. So going with the chapters, and now we see the new Mysterious Stranger is one of the new chapter cards. So,
and Miss Firefly asks, are there plans for cards to be drawn by Creature and Krista? Well, I would hope so, because we all know.
After seeing that, no chance.
Yeah, I don't, nah. I'll just stick with the design and all that stuff.
Well, somebody better jump on and start helping.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that-
one thing in the turn of the year. I'll give it a go, see what happens. But you did so good. They look so pretty, Frank.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. But we have had a couple new artists jump on, right? And really,
We're gonna get into that later. We're gonna show you
showcasing
guys
art
some
with
of that
this.
new
So, you know,
artists.
there's an evolution to the Seither Chronicles that you're going to be seeing coming a lot in the next year and on, you know. But just for us to be at this point now is amazing. So let's start.
Right before we
go
go
ahead.
to the next section, I just want to kind of throw this in here. We did change some artwork to fit the game. So if you had a bunny and bunny tails, you know, we were going through there all the time looking for bunnies for the game. And we were pulling, you know, here and there. And if we used your bunny, there is a chance that we changed some of the attributes, all of the attributes. And that was to fit the game. So, you know, there's so many micro decisions that happen in this process. And we, you know, our main thing is having variety for the cards because it helps players recognize the cards. And if they all look the same, it makes it hard. So, you know, and it could have been anything like the colors just weren't working, or, you know, it had all Freya items on it and it's not a Freya card. And now that we're bringing in the gods, we want it all to be cohesive. So just keep that in mind. If you see that one of your bunnies got changed, it wasn't, you know, because we didn't like your bunny or we didn't want to use your bunny. It's something like that. It's all just for visuals and to go with the lore and to give variety. So,
and essentially, we did always honor the names, right? So you still know.
we didn't change
the
the
names
at all. We just had to kind of do what we had to do to get the most variety of the look. You know, some of them we flipped, some of them we zoomed in. We changed a lot of the backgrounds. So we just did a lot of changes. We even made some custom weapons that don't exist anywhere, like custom colors. So we just want it to look awesome and like variety, you know, not that all the series 1 bunnies don't look awesome. It's just we need variety, stuff like that.
So we're going
Right,
to.
Creature's gonna take it away.
Yes, what we're going to jump into a little bit now is gameplay and strategy, right? Give you guys a little gameplay and strategy right now.
Okay. Did it work?
Yep.
Yeah.
There
You
go.
can get rid of us for a minute too and just show that so we can see it bigger.
How do I do that?
Frank,
How do you what?
Frank.
the layout, you can get rid of us for a minute. Just show the table.
Okay. Let's just, there we go. Table time.
Yeah. These are the new mats.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we can take a look at the new mats. So love the new mats. Just the first off, the artwork is absolutely incredible here. The Snowflake Valley at a nice twilight time. Really gorgeous, nice colors. The other just kind of changes to the map, same overall layout, right? We have this combat row here, the ranged and the artillery. The big thing is we just chopped off 8, 9, and 10 and just left. So up here is the turns or the hops within the round. So each round lasts up to 7 turns or hops. So this just helps the player be able to identify exactly that turn limit. If both players are tied at the end, then they have some overtime where they'll take some extra turns. But overall, just helped kind of clean that up a little bit. And then also just with some of the accent colors with the borders, just reiterated some of their class colors for a nice aesthetic on the overall composition of the mats. I'll pan over to the shamans as well.
The artillery row. Did you say that? I might have missed it.
Nope, that's correct. And the artillery row was the other significant addition as well. The original one did not have these two ends to them. The artillery row only had those 4 center spaces. But understanding the future direction of the game, we just wanted to make sure that it only made sense in the end to have each row the same amount of spaces.
And I do want to iterate that now we have the original Viking and Pirate mats. Even though they do not have this format, right, they still have the extra 3 hops, and they do not have the 2 artilleries on the side. Doesn't mean that they cannot be used, because the format for the game, all of this is laid out in the new strategy battle guide. So they're still playable mats. You would just, oh, there we go. Okay. You load them back into the tabletop?
If force closed on me.
Oh, all right, all right. So here, I'll put us back up on here, and then when I'll show it. So just wanted to let you know, you can still use your Viking and Pirate mats for play. In the future, we will have the new Viking and Pirate mats to match the final format. For the tournament this year at Richmond, you will be able to use any of the mats that you prefer, because we kind of all know the layout, but in future, it will be one format of the mat.
Yeah, basically you're not going to need those extra artillery spaces until we get more artillery down the road anyway. So
yeah, and the biggest one that I think it affects is Queen Hair's Revenge, right? Because she can move.
Right. So pretend that you're playing on your pirate mat and you're playing pirates. Just pretend you have those spaces. They are still playable areas.
Correct. Are we back up and running? Okay, let's jump back to
I thought we were. Oops.
There we go.
Sorry. All right. Cool. All right, sweet.
You want to kind of go over what you need to play too?
Yeah, absolutely. So here we get a nice little glimpse into the Valkyrie starter deck. Can't help but ignore that we have Miss Sonia here. And she is actually a full art that we'll see within the starter deck.
Yeah, that will be your first full art rare that you will get in, and each starter deck comes with their own full art rare card, unique to that deck.
Absolutely incredible. Without the templates or anything, it just allows that artwork to come through in full force, really celebrating that art, you know. And this is really cool for collectors. Myself, I know I would love to collect all of these full arts. They're always been just a favorite way to represent a card, period. So happy to see this and also share that with your starter deck experience when opening. So very cool there. So, but yeah, so in order to play, for the best experience, it's always recommended to have a play mat. You do not need a play mat to play the game. But yeah, play mat as seen here, a 60 card deck, as we see. Okay. And then the next biggest thing is you'll just need a handful of dice as well. And the dice are used to showcase the Seither of each creature. So Sonia with 5, and you would just put a little 5 on her. If you were to equip a weapon to her, because the weapons, as we showed, Frostbite earlier. So if you're to throw Frostbite, because Frostbite has that 3 Seither, you would add the 3 to the 5. So Sonia now has a total of 8, and that's what we can use, and that's what we can showcase with the dice here. So that's why dice are always good. And if damage is received to Sonia and she were to take a little handful of damage, maybe 4 damage, right? The dice is always there to showcase your creature's Seither. So having a nice little handful of that is good.
The custom Seither Chronicles dice, right? But if you don't, they will be coming in the bundles. So you'll be able to get those, or if you have other stuff from us in the past but haven't gotten dice, those are available as well. Or you could just grab yourself a pack of 6-sided die. I know a lot of you gamers have plenty of dice, but ours are really cool looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Also as well, we have these red die as well to showcase any cards that have the break ability type. These are great dies to keep track of those numbers as well. So again, something like the shield. The shields all have break to them. So this shield here, the sturdy shield, has a break of 3. So if Sonia were to have the shield on and she were to block once, that shield's break goes down to 2, and that's how we would just indicate that. So that's what these red die are great for. And then also too, we have some status condition markers as well. So again, going back to poison, any type of little green marker will do good to showcase that.
We also have in the bundles, and they're cute little gems, so you can use them to show your status effects.
Absolutely. Also, too, in the game guide too, it tells you, you can also rotate a card left or right. It'll tell you which way for each status condition if you don't have those. So there's alternative ways to represent that. Same thing here. This is frozen. So Sonia's frozen. You just use the blue one. And then Sacred Barrier as well. So, but other than that, that's pretty much all you need. You also have your round tracker here to keep track of which round you are on, as each game lasts up to 3 rounds. And the player that wins 2 out of the 3 rounds first wins the game. So to help players keep track of that is just a simple little visual here. And you can throw on any sort of marker just to keep track of that. And then you can, within tabletop here, we've been able to use these digital readers to keep track of the creatures of your total Seither in play. IRL too, you can use anything from a phone to paper. You can just count them all up. There are lots of different ways to kind of calculate your total there. Within this setting, this is just the most efficient. So, but yeah, that's pretty much.
And your character, your standee.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, and then these fun little dudes here are little character standees. We have Jackbeard featured here. And again, just another token to help keep track of which turn each player is on. So as you end a turn, go ahead and move your hopper over a little bit. And yeah, so, and it's cool too. If you guys want to share just those hoppers and the custom ones or anything like that, it'll be cool to collect some different ones there.
Yeah, Carly has the wooden ones on her website, Dragon Wood Shop. And then we now have acrylic character standees coming in all the bundles. Excited.
Yep.
Awesome.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for showing us that. And did you want to talk a little about the attacking and defending in the or strategy based on that, or?
Yeah. So
I know it's a long dive in because so much has changed with the attacking and defending mechanics, but.
Yeah, I can showcase a little something here, and even just kind of tapping a little further into example earlier here.
Because it has changed a lot since the original alpha.
Yeah. So essentially, apologies. So essentially, you would just So you equip an inventory. You just simply play the card from your hand, and the thing that's cool about this is why these numbers are at the bottom of the card is easy to kind of layer your card on top of it. So that way you can always see those numbers poking out at once. Really nice to kind of keep track of. But yeah, when you equip an inventory card like that, again, the weapons, they all have Seither numbers to them. And when you equip it, you just take that Seither and add it to your creature that it's equipped to. So again, this Frostbite has Seither 3 and Sonia 5, which gives her a total of 8. And that's what we use our dice to represent that. And then if we were to have a if we were targeting down an opponent's creature in play, we declare that Sonia will attack that opposing creature. And we can see that it's dealing 3 damage at that bottom left-hand part of the card. And it's going to cost Sonia 2 of her Seither. So we're going to go ahead and attack. Let's say this creature has 4 Seither to it. We go ahead and attack. We deal 3 damage. So this creature now goes down to 1. And Sonia loses 2 Seither.
Now, I'm going to also say another big change that I don't think we mentioned to talk about.
Yeah.
Now, in the alpha version, damage reset at the end of each turn. When your turn was over, your opponent's damage would reset. It no longer resets. So that is another big change that has come to combat within this.
Everything is permanent.
Yes. So you can use, which is how they also having Seither cards now within the game to heal your characters. Valkyries can heal, right? That gave us the ability to bring in those kind of mechanics as well to keep your creatures alive and in battle, right? Because damage no longer resets.
Absolutely. So that was one thing it was definitely unique in the first iteration to have damage resetting at the end of each turn. And it was a fun challenge for players to turn a foe's creature feral. But when determining and making certain decisions for the longevity of the game, especially with the shift in how weapons and shields are being utilized, the decision to either keep what we had or to go down this route of not having damage reset allowed for a lot of other things to come into play, like healing, and just being able to, move that around a bit more. So it at the end of the day, it makes the game much more dynamic in how players approach their strategies. But also to a newer player, it's much easier to keep track of. It feels like that natural decision on how to resolve damage to a creature as well. So we gave up that damage resetting and just went forward with damage not resetting. So and this is something that testers and the devs have really enjoyed playing around with, as it definitely opens up some different types of lines and strategies. But very, very, yeah, you're absolutely correct. I can't believe we didn't talk about this sooner. But yeah, that's I would probably say that's almost bigger than the weapons and shields in terms of the shift.
Is damage not resetting? Now, another question while we're on here, right? Because we didn't talk about it, but a new creature has been brought in. Disco asked, Valkyrie is going to be able to bring their dragon on attack, right? And so those are some of the new creatures.
Yeah, we're actually going to touch on that here in a bit.
Okay, and Laura, Ms. Firefly asks, would D20s be allowed for creature Seither tracking in official gameplay? Less dice needed since the numbers go higher. And I know we've talked about that before. I've always been a fan of a D20. I know a lot of people are fans of those, or the 100 Seither, different dice denominations. And me personally, I don't see why it isn't, but I know it's been a topic of discussion.
Yeah,
before.
listen, yeah, I mean, if you're at home, yeah, absolutely. The short answer is yes, absolutely. You can play with some D20s and stuff, and feel free to, like, when you're at home hanging out with family and friends, play how you want, enjoy the game, enjoy the cards, feel free to do what you want, of course. And tournament play, and stuff like that, just being able to clearly represent your creature's Seither through the use of dice is fine. I agree. I don't see an issue with it. So yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to get into. Yep. I was thinking, let's get into some game accessories, and let me pull us all back up on the screen.
I'm on top.
There you go.
Hey,
I gotta look down, y'all.
I'm hiding behind the game accessories. Try that. Nope, that didn't work.
I'm higher up, so you can put me back down. Or are we all?
And there we go.
Oh, you can put me on the bottom. It's okay. Or anyways. Yeah.
All right. Well, Krista's sharing her screen. Let's move her up there. I'll hang out down here.
All right. So we already talked about the mats. The new play mats. We also have new dice bags for the Valkyries and Shamans. This is just a mock-up. We haven't gotten them yet, but they're from the same manufacturer as the first round. So, they'll be that amazing quality that we got the first time. And yeah.
And you can see the artwork that will be on them, right? Both sides of
Prize
them.
on the back. Yeah. Can't wait. And here's the acrylic standees that we had.
Fresh.
And these are quite a large size. They're about, I would say, 3 inches high. They're just perfect
They're
size.
taller, actually. They are a little over 4 inches tall. Yeah, but they actually fit perfect on the mats. We tested them out. They're perfect size. So these will be available on the website and at Richmond as well. They come in the bundles, which we're going to get to all those details. Let's jump into the future of Seither Chronicles and what we have, coming up, and kind of where we're going with this in the grander scheme, and then we'll jump right into the new artists that we have in these new decks, and then we'll get right into pre-sale, all that good
bundles
stuff.
and all that wonderful stuff. So, and for those of you that were there with us, or that weren't, this is playthrough this last year in March, and it was an amazing gaming show. We met so many amazing people at this show, and this was us truly showcasing the first look at the new booth setup we have, which is actually twice the size. This is only one half of the picture, and we have our very own drywall guy, Cryptomus, also known as Maximus in the novels, and there's Creature himself, and they're demoing the game. And I just, that whole weekend, they sat there for about 8 hours. They barely got up to eat. Just sitting there and demoing, and we had people just coming up, to sit down and play with them, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, we also won honorable mention for the game. We entered into the contest for the best new game, and we were against all tabletop games, so it was tough competition. A tabletop game won, but we got honorable mention, so we are going back next year hoping to take that trophy and that award home. So we were really proud of that.
That's right. So this next year, right, 2025 is the year of the Seither Chronicles at Playthrough.
Yeah, we're hoping to do many more gaming conventions. So if you have any in your area that you think we should go to, definitely let us know. What's next? Classes. So we just, obviously, we're now releasing the Valkyries and the Shamans. The two next will complete all the classes, and that will be the Sorcerers and the Spartans. So I can't wait for that, to see some of the artwork and the characters for that. If you have any Sorcerer bunnies or Spartans, make sure you write your bunny tales so that we can get you guys into those decks. And you can possibly get, your character drawn by Frank or one of our other guest artists for the cards. As well as any ideas you have, like Carly mentioned earlier, throwing a book. If you just randomly think of stuff like that, throw it in the Discord. That way we have it on record. And that way when it's time for us to create these cards, we can go check out what you wrote.
Just as an example, right? We have the forum in the Discord and Call to Valhalla, which we showcased before, right? That was a team effort, right? We put it out there. Everybody give us ideas for cards, thoughts on how you'd like to see the artwork. And it was a team effort. We got, we kind of combined a lot of people's visions for Call to Valhalla, and we brought it together to create the art for that card. So we love that feedback from the community. And as you guys all know, we build this with you, right?
Yeah, we know those Spartans are going to be tough.
Let's go.
They'll be beefy.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about dragons. So you guys know we have the light and dark dragons. Let's talk about light dragons for a minute. These are cards from these beta decks. So these are in the Valkyrie deck. We have introduced some dragons. and some
Whoa.
dragon attacks that you equip to your dragons. Sizemore working with Queen Christikins, because, you know, again, coming from the lore and the books, and then you have Milo working with Sonya.
You can see cute, regal Sizemore over there, but you can also see what happens when you mess with Queen Christikins,
Gets
right?
angry.
Yeah. So
Just barbecue.
you don't want to mess with Sizemore.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, these dragons are really cool. We're just kind of, just getting introduced with them here. So we have Sizemore, Milo, and then featuring the dragon attack card here. So same thing with this dragon attack card. Works just like inventory, except you can only equip it to a dragon card. So just keep that in mind. This isn't something that Hoplite can wield. But just a nice little fun way to offer some alternative ways of attacking with these powerful new dragons.
And so, right, and this is giving you a little insight, right? By bringing in a few dragons just to like give you a taste of what's coming and experience new creatures, different gameplay with these creatures, because that's part of the evolution of this game, right? We talked about bringing new classes, but there's so much more coming. This world is so expansive. We know we have
We're not
other
on game accessories anymore, right?
Yep. What?
We're not on game accessories.
No, we are not. I was so distracted by all of this, I forgot. So I will take off game accessories. We'll finish up this, and then I'll post something else.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Okay.
Is it
What?
giveaway time?
Oh my god.
Okay, so don't put this in the chat. That's not how you're going to enter the giveaway. But go to your ticket in the Battle Bunnies server in the Discord. Go to your ticket, and the secret word for the giveaway to enter is Shanamana. Da, da, da. Shanamana. This is a card in the Shaman deck that we had so much fun with the name for days.
Yes. So Shanamana is actually a creature in the Shaman deck, and she's fun to play, and the name is just fun to say. And if you don't,
welcome, Liam.
say
I like that he said his cat just put the stream on.
after you play Shanamana.
It's all about our trading card game, so welcome.
So, yep, this is the new release of the beta decks for the Seither Chronicles, the Battle Bunnies trading card game. The pre-order is opening tonight, and so we were just showcasing everything, the tour from the original alpha decks to the release of these beta decks, and
Awesome.
how the game works. So there's the secret password to win your deck tonight.
Yeah, so go to the Battle Bunnies Discord. If you're not in there right now, there's links everywhere in the description, on our Twitter, on our YouTube channel. If you just Google the Battle Bunnies Discord, it will pop up for you. Hop in there, open a ticket, and throw this secret word that's down there, Shanamana, in the ticket. I'm going to add your name to this wheel, and we're going to run it at the end of the show for a deck of your choice.
Whoa. Mothy. Okay. Let's go.
And so just a little more.
Let's not jump the gun.
No, let's not jump the gun, but a little more into, I know you guys might have questions about the future of things. And as you know, you've been watching us build this since day one, doing all of that. But booster packs are on the horizon, right? But we will finish up with the last two classes. There will be the Dark Dragons come to play, as now you're getting a taste with the Light Dragons. The Light Dragons themselves will be their own creature force to be reckoned with. So there's those. I know you guys know our Christmas special, right? The Hooligans, Ghost Bunnies, they'll all make their appearance, whether they're expansions, hidden creatures within decks, booster packs. This world is so expansive that no stone will be left unturned within the Seither Chronicles. And we all know, of course, this is just set one, if we're talking about it, right? Book one, the first book, set one kind of went with the first novel, book two, hoping to be released this holiday season, right? Kind of introduces you to the samurai squirrels and other civilizations like medieval mice. And so you'll start to see that expands so much on new classes, new cultures, new styles of gameplay. And once again, it's all just the beginning. Timeline for different creatures released. You know, I have to say, Miss Firefly, at this time, it's kind of a loose timeline because, as you see, some decks take a little longer or shorter over time. You know, we tend to surprise ourselves sometimes too. So, but overall, we'd like to finish set 1 in 2025, right? Release the last 2 classes, and probably booster packs for set 1. And then, you know, with book 2 out, everybody already having experienced that and all of it, we could then start focusing on new mechanics for new creatures and species and civilizations, which will really change the game in a lot of ways as well.
Absolutely.
So let's maybe jump into some new art and featured artists that you're going to be seeing in this game.
Whoa.
In these new decks. First, I got to say, this is one of my favorites. I've been a fan of Danny Beck for many years. He's actually also become a good friend of ours. For years, he worked for Blizzard Games as a senior character artist, and then moved on to Riot Games for 7 years, also senior artist and character designer for them. And so we're lucky to have him do these 2 cards in time for us to go to print. Just such a fan of his artwork. Definitely such a huge inspiration to me as an artist, and so excited that he brought Pirate Mothy to life. And if you guys have read the first book, you know it looks like Pirate Mothy apparently might have found his pants in this one, but he's still missing his shirt. And
his pants, lost his shirt.
Yeah, and then Firefly supply carriage, right? Because we're finally getting to see the Valkyries come to play. This Firefly's character and creature come to play in this new deck, and so you know we need your artillery, and what better than to have him do Firefly supply carriage for the Valkyrie artillery? I'm just in love with these 2 cards.
Yeah, Danny Beck will be in Richmond. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, that's enough. Yep, there you go, guys. So if you will be in Richmond in 4 weeks with us for the show and the Seither Chronicles tournament, Danny Beck will be there doing some live art, and hopefully you can go. He'll definitely sign the cards for you, and I'm sure you guys will want to get these cards signed by him. So he will absolutely be there.
Absolutely.
And our next, there we go. And Mr. Matty LaBouche, also just another talented artist. I know him for years. Funny enough, I tattooed him over in England years ago, and you know we kept that connection, and you know stayed good friends. And when he saw that we were doing this, he said he'd love to jump on and do some artwork for us. And so he definitely came to play and did these beautiful weapons for us for the pirate deck. Oh no, one is a nomad class, right? So it's classless, but I believe it's in the pirate deck. And then the Iron Forge chain, which is definitely a Viking weapon, and they were so beautifully and well done.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the perspective on these 2, especially throwing daggers. Is one of my personal favorites in the set. It's very clear, especially too as a player looking for this card. Instant recognition, and just the overall composition as a piece of art is really, really nice.
Now tell me when, because I'm doing the wheel. So tell me.
Go ahead. Good. Oh, I don't like
There's
this.
A trap. There's a trap.
Oh, that's a trap. Yeah, but I don't like this guy. See, I know him for a long time. Almost 48 years. I know this guy, Frank.
Look at this artwork, y'all. Look at that hoplite.
Yeah, so
live in that world.
Yeah, I think for as a player and collector of the game, seeing Hoplite the farmer only represented as a sketch and seeing him come to life for the first time is really special in this piece of art that you did. Definitely one of my top favorites for sure. He crushed it. And I think other people are going to be very excited to get their hands on this card as well. Going and being able to have both that sketch rare and the fully rendered piece of art.
That's what I was going to say, because right, the Holo Sketch Rare and Sketch Rare came out in the beta decks, right? That was our very first Sketch Rare card, and nobody ever got to see Hoplite Farmer in color and come to life. So it was really fun and exciting to like bring this character to life and this card to life after all this time.
Yeah.
The red border, Carly, is actually, thank you. I think Hoplite's adorable as well.
Yeah, the red to black is your trap. So before it was just black, and we added a little color in it now, so it's got a bit of red on it.
Yep.
So, and it's right, it fits in line with the treasure cards and the inventory cards and stuff. These are trap cards. So that's why they have no icons or anything on them. They basically tell you right at the bottom what it is.
Yeah, they're a utility. Yep. Super.
All right. So here are your second set of holographic heroes.
Whoa. Sorry.
Yeah. You can drop that bubble, Frank.
Oh, yes.
So this is your new set of the 7 heroes. Now, we also have exclusive heroes, which we'll show you next. But, yeah, this is the beta deck set of holo heroes. So there's 7 in total. They all have the holographic overlay on them. I just didn't want to show that in here. I wanted you guys to be able to really see the cards clearly. There's 7 different cards, and there's only 100 of them printed. So these are only available at conventions, IRL, or if you play in the league, which we play in Discord on tabletop, you can win them in the league. That's the only ways you can get these cards.
Well, that's a King Harold sketch.
A lot of cards right there you haven't seen yet.
That's like a King Harold sketch.
Yeah, yeah.
You got the Danny Beck Mothy art. Ooh.
Yeah, Pirate Mothy became a holo hero. We have Cornelius, Skull Thumper, right? That's Mr. Aaron Farr himself, has become not only is one of the heroes in the Shaman deck. So the 3 heroes, new heroes you're going to meet in the Shaman deck, right? Narf the Mad, Cornelius A. Skull Thumper, and the very own Down Under Lord Elrog himself. And then within the Valkyries, right, we have Queen Christikins, Miss Firefly, who you've seen, and Sonya, which I'm very excited. So those are the new heroes that you'll be meeting in these. Oh, and wait, Jinx. Jinx is in the shop. I'm just seeing. There's another hero hidden in there. That's right. It's right there, big, right in front of me.
There's a few you didn't mention.
Yeah, there's probably a few. I know. I'm just looking at the screen.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, super excited to get that Jinx card out there.
Look, we'll do a box opening when the decks arrive, and we'll all be surprised together. Because I was part of all of this, and I bet you I'm going to be surprised by a bunch of it when I open them.
That's a lineup for sure.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good lineup right there. Wow.
Yeah, so these cards are in the decks, but they're not holo. So these are the exclusive holo heroes. Like again, only 100 of each will ever be printed of these. And then we have the exclusive holos. This is something new we've never done before.
You're showing these?
Yeah, apparently.
What are you guys doing?
They're already on all the bundle graphics. They're already.
Yeah.
Oh my
you guys are gonna see them now when we send you the order.
They're already seen. They're already out there. So these are these exclusives. So we've never done this before, and we wanted to bring something different to these single decks. So these are the exclusive holo heroes you can only get in the bundles. You can't get these any other way. You can't buy these singularly at the conventions. They're only in the bundles, which we're going to go over. So,
and they are limited to 100 of each card. 100 of each card will only ever be made of each of these exclusive full art holos. Okay, so and the only way to get them is with one of the bundles.
Yeah, and you have one for each class. So Pirate Mothy full art is for the pirates, King Harold for the Vikings, Narf the Mad for the Shamans, and Queen Christikins for the Valkyries. And these are the only full arts of these characters available right now.
Pirate Monty. Look how good
I love
Pirate
that.
Monty looks.
Love that we threw creature
I-
for this.
Dude, I stare at them all the time. I'm so excited to talk to Danny. I can't wait, as we move forward to have him jump on and do so many more cards with us.
Eesh.
Love it, love it. All right, so obviously we have Richmond coming up in 1 month. This is where we will be releasing the game physically, so you'll be able to see everything in person. I'm sure most of you are coming. Any reason the Mythic Bundle doesn't? We're going to get to that, Carly. We're almost there, and then we'll answer all those questions. So yeah, I just want to mention that we'll be at Richmond a month from now, so come hang out and check everything out. We'll have everything in person as well.
And if you don't order, I was going to say we'll deliver everything to you in Richmond. You'll be able to pick up all your stuff there. And the biggest thing that's happening is you'll get to participate in the second annual Seither Chronicles tournament, the Seither Cup.
Yeah. So that will be the time has changed, you guys. And I'm sorry about that. We keep getting told different things. So it is now 1 day. It's on Saturday, all day Saturday. So it's going to start at 12. That's going to be like orientation, getting set up, all that. The games will start at 1. If you want to play in this, we're going to have a sign up Google form. I'm going to drop it in the next couple of days for you guys. So make sure you fill that out. And then you're just going to confirm that you're playing with us on Friday at the booth. We're going to have, a list printed out, and you just say, yep, I want to play. And then you'll tell us what deck you want to play. All the details for the tournament is going to be on that Google form. So, and then if you have any other questions, just let us know. But it's similar to what we did last year.
Who's going to take it down?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Fierce competitors this year. Unfortunately, our champion from last year, I do not believe will be able to make it. Unfortunately, I know he was just as sad as we all are. See that, but I'm sure the people who lost to him last year are not as sad as we are to see that. So, Mr. Sir Tony Pepperoni, first ever champion. But let's see who this year's champion is going to be.
Yeah.
So let's bring it on, because I know everybody here is just waiting to order, right? And they have these questions about it. So let's bring it on.
So, yep, we're gonna get into it right now. So the first thing you can grab is just a deck. So a single starter deck. You can grab anything, any of them you want. If you just want a Viking deck, Pirate, Shaman, Valkyrie, you can do that. Absolutely. I don't have the prices in front of me, Frank.
But a single deck is $35.
Okay. So $35 will get you the deck that comes with the 60 cards. It comes with 1 full art rare card in the deck. And then it comes with the battle guide, which has been revamped. We have a digital version of it in the Discord if you'd like to check it out to get to know the game more.
No, he's reading the comments. That's why he's laughing, because we know Drywall's not sad about that. Drywall was our runner-up at the first Seither Cup.
Okay.
Never played a TCG before.
You want me to get into this?
And has now become a league champion, runner-up in the first Seither Cup, and he's ready to take it down this year. So let's go ahead. Let's go on to, because this is our first bundle coming, right? So this is the singular Path of the Hero. So let's pop her up.
Yeah, so we have 3 bundles. This is the smallest one. So this is called, just stop looking at it. It's called Path of the Hero. So this is where, if you just want one class, basically. So if you want to pick Valkyries and get all the Valkyrie stuff, you get the Sonya standee. You're going to get the Valkyrie deck. You're going to get the exclusive holo card, which is Sonya, the full art. No, sorry. The exclusive holo is Christikins. You're going to get the play mat. You're going to get the dice bag, a set of dice. Like I mentioned, you're going to get the Sonya standee. You're going to get a bag of the status markers and the Narf the Mad tote bag. The tote bag is only available in the bundles. So this is like, if you just want one class, this is perfect for you.
The tote bag and the exclusive holo are only available in the bundles.
Yes. This is enough for one player. So if you want to have enough for 2, we have a different bundle. So this is like your single class bundle. And then we have the Legends of Seither bundle. So this is enough for 2 people. So you have a choice here. You can either go Viking and Pirate and get all of that stuff, which the playmats and the dice bags are the previous ones. But you get those 2 exclusive Hollow Heroes we showed you. You get 1 mystery Hollow Hero card, which is out of the set of 7. And then all the other stuff that goes with it. So if you picked Viking and Pirate, you would get the Hoplite and the Jackbeard standees. 2 sets of status markers and the tote bag. So this is basically a double, like I said. Or you could pick Shaman and Valkyrie, which is the new decks, right? We haven't had those before. So this is like that middle bundle choice for you, and you know you have 2 choices here which way you want to go. Then the Big Mac Daddy, this will get you everything. So the Mythic Chronicles bundle will get you all 4 decks, all 4 exclusive Hollow Heroes, which again only come in these bundles. You'll get the full set of all 7 Hollow Heroes. You'll get the 2 new playmats, which is the Valkyrie and the Shaman. And it comes with the big bag that we had last year, the Seither Chronicles bag for those. You'll get the 2 new dice bags, which again, Valkyrie and Shaman. You'll get 2 sets of dice. All 4 acrylic character standees, 2 sets of the status markers, and that Narc the Mad tote bag. So this is basically everything. It is live on the website if you want to check out the details. Here is the pricing. You are saving more and more as you go up. Basically, by the time you get to the Mythic, you're pretty much getting that full set of Hollow Heroes for free, because those are $30 each card. So you're saving almost that entire set of Hollow cards.
I think they all found out that the pre-order is live already.
Yes.
So, I mean, we'll put the link if you want to put it in the comments. It's in the Discord.
Yeah, it's thebattlebunnies.com, thebattlebunnies.io. Go to shop. It should be right at the top. You can click trading card game if it's not, to see everything. We have everything available. We have, if you just want to get one of everything, 1 standee, you want to get a couple standees, you have a lot of options for really customizing your order. To answer Carly's question about any reason the Mythic bundle doesn't come with the new Viking and Pirate mats, we because we still have the other mats. So we haven't ordered the new one. We won't order the new mats until we run out of the alpha version, and they're still usable. So that is why.
Right, and we didn't. Yeah, so we know everybody wants to collect all the new stuff. You know,
does the Mythic bundle come with the 4
the
sets of status markers? Did I do that wrong?
What happened?
The Mythic, is that supposed to come with 4 sets of status markers?
I'll have to check, but I think it was 2. Like, it's got the 2 sets of dice, the 2 sets of status markers, because overall it's like you're not playing 4 players. It's still like a 2-player breakdown.
Yeah, and
I think it's 2, right?
That's yeah. Did you see your question on the only 2 Hollow Heroes, not 4?
Just right after the listing says only 2 Hollow Heroes, not 4. On which listing? Because if it is the Mythic, it's guaranteed to come with 4. So this is right here. What you're looking at is really what you're getting. That just might have been when everything was being put up on the site. But Crystal will check that for you. But I promise you, if it's the Mythic bundle, you will get all 4 exclusive Hollow Heroes. And it might have also been like a copy paste.
It's a typo.
Yeah.
Let me get one.
Mythic, yeah.
Yeah, and these status markers, you guys, it's a big bag, so it's going to be enough if you want to split it between 4. It's enough, because you don't ever really need that many at one time.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't add extra.
Yeah, and so if you look overall, you could see the savings too, right? How we did stuff, and because at one time you know the the Hollow Heroes, the sets of Hollow never came with the bundle. You got one, I think, one random one with the bundle.
Right, you got one Hollow Hero, yeah.
Right, and then I think and then you had to buy it for another $200 on top of everything at a show and do all of that. Now we're giving you the opportunity to just order it online and be the first ones to get it, and we actually just threw it within the Mythic bundle, so that way you could do it, get it, and not have to worry about whether you show up at a show that we're out to pick one up. Oh, we all like hoarding shiny things, Carly.
And then I'll just go over the pricing real quick in case you guys aren't able to look at the website right now and you're curious. The standees are $12 each, and then you can get all 4 for $40. So you can save a little bit of money there. The dice is $10, same price as before. The bags are $15. So none of the pricing changed, since the last one. So the play mats are $30. The mat bag is $20. It fits 2 mats in there.
Oh, and just
the status markers are $5. So if you did want to add extra sets, you can do that. And then the Hollow Heroes are $30, or you can do the whole set for $200, which saves you $10.
Also, I wanted to say, because some might see it, might not see it, but if you're ordering and you're going to pick it up with us in Richmond, there is an option under shipping that says pick up in Richmond or whatever. So
yes, you won't be charged for shipping. We'll just bring it to you, and we'll give you everything there.
And you know what? I'm going to put a link right here in the banner to the.
Yes, and let's talk about the giveaway one more time. Give people a chance to enter.
Well, that's a good question.
Again.
Marissa asked how many of each bundle are available.
Yeah, they are limited. Frank knows that
get into that a little bit. Let me just put this in a banner. Get this up for those of you. Okay, and that's the banner. That's the site right now where you could go and you'll see everything right there. So what was the question?
The limit on the bundles.
How many? Okay, so there is only 100 of each. These are the first edition, first printing of these all new revamped decks. And obviously the Shamans and Valkyries have never existed. So they're brand new. So everything here is first edition, first printing. This is the gold edition, just like with the alpha decks, the original alpha decks. We had those 100. Those were gone. Eventually, we moved on to the silver edition, right? Second printing. So these are the very first printing gold edition of all the hollows, the exclusives, the decks. And so they are limited to 100. Just like the original alpha decks, gold edition was limited to 100 decks. This is 100 of each deck. And also 100 of the exclusive hollows. And 100 of the first edition Hollow Heroes. We have a, I'm sorry, where do we have a typo?
Or maybe I said the wrong because I was looking at the convention prices. Are the dice 12?
Dice are
and the standees 15?
Standees, I believe they're 15 on the site, but at shows standees. If you're at a show.
Yeah, right, sorry, I gave you guys the show pricing. That's my bad.
So if you're at a show, we always have things a little cheaper at shows because you're coming to visit, traveling, doing all of that. So there's always a little bit discount. You pick it up from us directly at the show. We get to meet you, do all of that. Then you have the site price. Now, as far as the bundles, those prices are not changing from website. We're giving you those discount show prices, all of that right here.
Yeah, we discount everything at the shows except for the bundles. Yeah, sorry, Carly.
Yeah. We know everybody was ordering, got excited, started asking questions, and we should have probably went over this with you guys first. But you know what? That's why we're doing this live. You guys order, ask us the questions, let us walk through it, talk to you.
Yeah, don't feel rushed. Right now you need to definitely ask your questions and
yeah.
Because if you're going to Richmond, you can just pick up, if you want extra dice, extra stuff, you can just pick that up there and save a couple bucks.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about the giveaway because I've got everybody from Discord on it, but if there's anybody here that didn't enter yet, we are giving away a free deck.
Let's go.
Can you put up the word one more time, Frank?
I can. I absolutely can. But somebody's got to give me the rest of the, once I put it up, you got to read it and I need to hear it. Here we go. What is it?
Okay, so the word is shanamana. And I just, to enter the giveaway, just throw that in your ticket in our Discord. Just type it out the best you can. I've been getting a lot of funny gifts and stuff.
Yep. And if you know where it's from, throw in the gift for extra bonus points.
Yeah. And I can enter you on the wheel. Let me get that. Let me start sharing that. So we can do
it. Hold on, let me enter it in chat.
Link site, the shop site back up for now.
And yeah, here's all the names so you can check if you're on here. I got AJ, Frost, Jad, Clopping, Miss Firefly, Mr. Mothy, Saren Hoppity, Drywall, Aaron, Cryptomus, Carly, Jack, Nightfall, Mia, Eric, Blonde, Galavan, Pinkview, rather, Dr. Izzle, Tansy, Disco, and Mrs. Peak.
We'll give you guys a few more minutes because if you missed the word or you haven't gotten Discord or you're busy ordering, we're not going to rush
on the screen. Put the word on the screen.
We don't want people to rush or worry about stuff or, take our time. We'll hang out with you guys if you have some questions. We thought about doing a Q&A with you guys. If you want to ask any questions about the game.
You opened the ticket, Hazer. I tagged you. I didn't know you were on the stream. I'll add you now.
So in the meanwhile, do you guys have any questions about the new decks? I know you guys know what the new class decks are, but one thing I bet you must be wondering, look, a lot of you are familiar with the Pirates and the Vikings, right? How they play. They haven't changed much, I would say, in what their fundamentals and base of that deck does. But if you want to talk a little, Melly, how do the decks, the play styles kind of differ now with the Shamans, the Valkyries coming into play? What's the different play styles? We knew Pirates were a milling deck. Vikings are big, strong. They're still bigger and stronger, right, than they were. So how have some of those things changed? And what are the new styles that come in?
Yeah, so, well, even before I get to that as well, it's, one thing we definitely learned that worked really well, for example, like the Pirates was something like Doug, the deckhands. And the synergy and how you build your deck based off of those types of synergies, right? So that moving forward with it, it was getting heroes with more cards that synergize well with them. So that way players can have a more, you can have a specific hero build for your play style. So that's something that was really what we did more of with these two additional decks here. The Valkyries, I know we've been talking about it, but they are really cool because they have a lot of movement abilities to them with that glide ability type, giving them a lot of being able to maneuver throughout battle, going from the ranged row to the combat row and vice versa. And also, too, one thing I'd touch on with that is if you have a ranged Valkyrie that has glide and you move her to the combat row, he can wield a combat weapon. You have to be on the corresponding row with the corresponding weapon to attack. So if you're on the combat row with a bow, you won't be able to attack. You have to be on the ranged row to attack with a bow. So just keep in mind some of those differences. But so yeah, they have a lot of movement to them. They also have Sacred Barrier. Probably the big marquee hero in that class is Christikins, actually. And with her powerful ability of being able to rescue creatures from the feral pile back into play. So this deck is actually how you actually want to get Valkyries into your feral pile to be able to give to fulfill Christikin's ability to get them back into play. So over time, very quickly, you'll see these Valkyries grow in size, and they can definitely overwhelm your opponent. So some really cool stuff going on with the Valkyries there. They also have freezing with their bows. They also have their sacred barriers, which gives them their protection. But yeah, Valkyries can definitely go wide very quickly out of nowhere. But lots of fun to play around with because there's a lot of decisions that have to go into it that can really impact whether your strategy is successful or not, but yeah. And then let's see, what do we have for the shamans? Yeah, shamans, like I said too, they are definitely, huh?
Did you see Eric's question?
No.
And what happens to the weapon if they swap?
What happens to the weapon if they swap? It stays on them. It's not discarded. It's not removed from the creature. If they move to the row, they just won't be able to use it, So it's kind of like a dud until you move back to that course. Pretty much you don't really want to move to a row that you're unable to attack with, right? You're essentially choosing to move to the combat row to equip a combat weapon to target something specifically, or vice versa. So, yeah, and then the shamans, right, they are predominantly a control style class. So Narf is a big marquee hero in that deck, as he's able to essentially clone and copy any of the shamans that are in the feral pile. Narf's able to clone their abilities. So if you have a creature that's in the feral pile with a pretty snazzy ability, Narf can just go ahead and copy it for himself and use it. And that's the echo ability. So if a creature in the feral pile has a rally ability, Narf can clone it and use it for his echo. So that's really, really powerful.
He's devious.
Very, very. We also have Ramona.
We all know Narf is everybody's favorite.
Yeah. I like Christmas because she rescues it. She brings them back. You're just stealing other people's abilities.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I was playing with the Valkyries just recently, and they're feeling pretty good.
Yes,
I will say all 4 are really strong now. Like if you played the first version, everybody knew that like pirates won the majority of the time against Vikings, and we didn't like that. We wanted them to be equal, and especially with these 2 new decks coming out, the 2 new classes, we want everybody on the same level. And I feel like we really achieved that with these starter decks and like the new way that the game is played. The Vikings are very strong. The shamans aren't any stronger than the pirates. The pirates aren't any stronger. It's just how you play. It's just how you what cards you get, and how it goes. But they are absolutely like very well balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing too that I really like about the Vikings as well, one of my favorite heroes in the Vikings is Tobin. And we added some more support for Tobin. So there's some more synergy with actual Tobin himself now, to where it was just a 1-card trick. Now he's got some extra creatures in that Viking that can, that can extend his utility and effectiveness even when he's not in play. So really cool. I'm excited for that. And then the same thing with pirates as well, is really leaning into that unique artillery with Queen Hare's Revenge. There's some extra, even though the players say, they may not need it or whatever we got some extra stuff in there for the Queen Hares. So some more support and play around with that, more deck hands. So just really leaning into the theme and their play styles as well. So it's, don't get discouraged if, the way you approach a game and, the deck's not working for you. It's all right. Try something else. Each deck really has its own identity and way to play it. So, we have Eric, who loves a bunch of decks that just really thwart your opponent's way of playing. It's a lot of fun being able to see just even 2 more decks and seeing how refreshing that feels to the player base, really giving them that choice.
Yeah, it's fun. There's so many combinations now.
Ooh, oh yeah, yeah.
Hairfin, talk about that.
Well, yeah, we see that Joel is asking about Hairfin, and you want a cameo from Honey? Okay, I'll go grab her disco. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so Hairfin also had a redesign as well, which was really cool because we actually introduced a different type of card for the Vikings as well, which was the Archer ability type that is native to the Vikings. And archers are essentially able to deal damage as a result of their ability without a weapon equipped to them, but they can only target creatures that are in front of them, right? So, but Hairfin is essentially kind of like the leader of it, to where once per turn he can bring a archer creature into play, including Jalil/Nightfall. Nightfall is an archer in the Viking deck. So very cool synergy there, being able to, and the more archers you have in play, the more effective their abilities are. So keep an eye out on some of those cards and their synergies when utilized together in play, and how they're able to be more effective in those times.
So, okay, for those, because there might be some people that are watching this. Well, I mean, we have people in the community too, or like question of, look, I've never played a TCG before. Would I like this? So like, what do you say? Because look, Krista was that person, drywall, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
runner-up and league champion, right? Like, I mean, he never played or was into TCGs before. So, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think, those are great testaments to this game, and being able to, the barrier of entry, and keeping it on the lower side, not too low to where it doesn't quench the thirst of competitive and experienced card players, but also giving access to people who may not have ever really tried something like these games before, right? You have Christakins coming into League 4 weeks in, and then dominating after that. And climbing our way to the top. So, but the game is constructed approachable, or like simple enough to where someone picking it up in their first time can understand the objective of the game, right? How to play it, or how to get there, and then just playing more and more, you're gonna learn some of those subtleties and strategies along the way. But there's a lot of parallels to other types of games, right? We have to create a level of parallel to other things for identity, and for something for people to compare to. So, but also having enough of our own thing.
Pirate Mothy, funny enough, Pirate Mothy's in here. We showcased his new exclusive Holo Rare tonight, but he does make a really good point. You also don't necessarily need to play the game either, right? You could just like the art and grab a deck based on the artwork. Now, that's a very common thing in the TCG or CCG world, right? Just card collectors. There's a lot of people that do not play Pokemon, but are obsessed with collecting Pokemon cards, right? But they don't necessarily play the game. I mean, our very own Miss Firefly is not a Pokemon game player, but she is a Pokemon collector.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's a large percentage of a fan base is predominantly a collector base. There are some games that definitely work on having a larger player base, but you definitely have to have good looking cards, good art, and what we have here is really exciting. I'm excited to have these cards and hold on to them and see them for the first time. So, but it's we break down that barrier as much as we can by offering a lot of different resources to newer players through our Discord weekly, several times throughout the week. We're all meeting up together and playing together in welcoming new players. We have learned to play days where we kind of hold off the experienced players a bit and allow newer players to come in a comfortable and welcoming atmosphere to where they can learn from myself and other devs and players. And and that is really, that has definitely helped a lot of people kind of comfortably come forward to play. So that's something that we'll continue to offer for newer players, in addition to video content as well, that we'll be able to have on how to play videos, breaking down each aspect of the game, really pulling down the curtain of some of these keywords and just some different strategies and things to think about.
So okay, so I was going to say Seth, but obviously Peak View, or also known, oh, I lost this question. Peak View, or also known as Jinx the Joker, whose his card makes way into the Hollow Heroes with these new beta decks. So he's asking the only way to get the new Hollow cards is to buy the Mythic Bundle or IRL conventions.
Yeah, let me just clarify. So if you look at the graphic here, you'll see that there's 7 Hollow Hero cards over the Mythic Bundle, and then there's 4 exclusives there in the middle. So the exclusive Hollow Heroes cards, which are the full arts you see in the middle, there's 1 for each class. Those are only available in these bundles. You cannot get them at conventions. You cannot get them any other way. So
I mean, if you bought a bundle at a convention, then yes, if you buy, but they only
only in the bundles.
Right.
And they're limited supply, right? So for example, if you picked Path of the Hero and you choose Pirates, you're going to get the Pirate Mothy full art exclusive Hollow Hero card with that. If you were to choose Legends of Seither, you have 2 choices with that, right? It's either Viking and Pirate or Shaman and Valkyrie. So depending on which you pick, you're going to get those 2 cards. And then Mythic Chronicles, you're going to get all 4. So that's the exclusive hollows. If you're talking about the regular Hollow Heroes, which is the set of 7, those are only available at conventions. You could buy those $30 each. So if you just want, Hoplite the Farmer, you can absolutely do that. Or they're available in these bundles. As you see, you get the full set in the Mythic Bundle. You get a mystery one in the Legends of Seither. The Path of the Hero does not include any of those Hollow Hero cards. Or you could play in the league and try to win them. So that's hopefully cleared up. Blonde, how is the Legend of Seither bundle different from buying 2
Paths of the Heroes? So you could buy 2 individual and mix the class, but what?
No, there's a difference. So you only get the Hollow Hero card in the Legends of Seither bundle that does not come in the Path of the Hero. So you will not get one of those 7 Hollow Hero cards if you were to buy 2 Path of the Heroes.
Right, you would just get one. You would get the full art exclusive to match that Path of the Hero.
Yeah, that's the difference, and that's why that pricing is not the same, because of that Hollow Hero card that you're getting.
That's right, Eric.
Individual cards don't get a hollow, correct? But they get 1 full art. Correct. Yeah, they get 1 full art rare.
Yep.
Yes, but they're not hollow.
Right. Yep. It's just it's an actual full art card, the same way the rest of the decks are.
Yep.
They're still pretty special to have in those starter decks.
Yes, they are awesome.
And the other thing is, right, like the hollows, like not the full art hollows, because we know those are exclusive with the bundles, but the actual Hollow Heroes, you could only get them in the bundle or pick them up individually at a show from us, right? So you'll never be able to just order the full set online. If you notice, you could only get 1 if you get the second bundle, right? And the only way to get the full set online or any way from us, if you're not an actual show, come to meet us and pick them up, is through that Mythic Bundle. Otherwise, you can get those 7 that Krista has up on the thing now at a show. You could come, you could pick them individually, right, and do it that way. So that's how it's kind of broken up. With the Mythic Bundle, we're giving you the opportunity to just get everything, because in the past, the Holo Heroes were only available at shows and did not come in a bundle. There was only one random that came within the the Heroes bundle at the time. It was called.
Yeah. So we wanted to make it a little easier to get them this time, and we wanted to give you some exclusives.
Well, you don't get the Holo Hero is what you're essentially not getting, right? So you could just buy 2 of those, but you won't get one of these Holo Heroes.
You won't get any of these. This is the set of 7. And if you look at these are the exclusives. This is what's coming in the Path of the Hero collection. You get one of these depending on which class you pick. You're not getting any of the other ones. So that's the difference between the 2 bundles.
This card. It's okay if you just want to leave it on this slide for an hour. It's fine.
So, I mean, in essence, if you want, you could just get 2 Path of the Heroes, right, and do it that way. Right, that's the first one. So, and you could do that, and it just wouldn't have the.
You just won't get any of these. Did that clear it up?
I have been. Okay.
Go grab my dog. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we were all geeking out when we were doing all the cards. All right. When Frank gets back, we'll do the giveaway. So if anybody has any last questions, let us know now.
Yeah.
And we will answer them. Thanks for hanging us out. Hanging out with us for so long, y'all.
Heck yeah.
You can tell I'm getting tired.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much and shout out to the devs and testers and everyone here supporting us throughout the start of everything. It's absolutely amazing seeing everyone, just really hang out and play and root us on and stuff. It means a lot, and because of y'all, together we're here, and exactly, I'm pretty sure almost a month away from now, we get to celebrate this together.
Yeah, thank you to everybody. We wouldn't be able to do it without all you guys.
Yeah, this truly has been a team and Fluffle fam, effort between all of us. Because, we're up here telling you guys all about it, but, we wouldn't have built all this without you guys and your support and just being a part of it, right? I mean, look how many of you become characters in the game and the novels. We'll tell you, if you guys join the book club and start reading book 2, you might find yourself in the book and not even realize you were there. I'm just putting that out there.
When chapter 14?
Yeah, I got to meet some really cool characters in chapter 13. So I'm not gonna.
All right, giveaway time. I can't wait any longer. It's killing me.
I'm just saying, if there's any sorcerers out there, they wind up in Arkansas, and so you might actually meet yourself in chapter 13.
I'm gonna click it.
Are you guys ready? That's right, Marissa.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There goes the wheel. Phenomena.
Oh.
Phenomena.
Let's go. Uh-oh. Oh.
The man of the hour.
Let's go.
Pirate Moppy.
Pirate Moppy. Look, you know what?
Let's
You might have
go.
not found your clothes, Moppy, but you did win a free new Seither Chronicles deck. Congratulations.
Moppy.
Hopefully that makes up for not having any pants. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I recommend you read book 1.
Congrats. Thanks, everybody.
Super dope. What class you getting?
I know. Well, we already know, but he's going to get an extra pirate, not ever open it.
No.
Awesome. Congrats, Monty. You'll have your choice of the decks. Where are they? There they are.
Nice.
There we go. Well, I was looking for the emails. Pirate Monty, has already put in his order, so we're going to throw these in. And I will say it is a hefty one. He was not missing out on anything.
Oh, I need all 4 of those. I need all 4 of those cards. No, that's awesome. Very cool.
Thank you guys so much for all of it. And we'll be
I'm so glad y'all liked everything. And, you know, we do all this for you guys just as much as, you know, we love it. It really, like, you know, it's like it feels better to give a gift than to get one. So our gift is seeing all your reactions and just knowing that y'all, you know, love everything as much as we do is amazing. And, you know, more than what we asked for. So thank you, everybody. It really means a lot.
I swear it's going to be like Christmas in October for us because we can't wait to get to Richmond, set up the big, I can't wait for you all to see the new Battle Bunnies booth. It really is just amazing. And just handing you out your guys' gifts and bags and all of that stuff. It's one of the most rewarding things for us to be able to do that with you guys. So I'm just super excited and thank you.
Yeah. Also too, I want to throw this out there. You know, for the Seither Cup in Richmond as well. If anybody's interested, curious about giving it a go, we are playing and essentially, you know, doing some prepping now for tournament play. So feel free to hop in our Discord Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is where we all collect to play games. So if you want to get in some practice before Richmond, that is the best way to do it. I'm in there both of those nights as well. So I'll do some one-on-one time practice with y'all, go over anything. Please don't feel shy, nothing. Just excited to see some people give it a go. So hit me up or you know, post in Discord, and we'll be happy to see you guys out there in October.
And I also, you know, just speaking on that, right? There's also so many great players and teachers of the Seither Chronicles game in the Discord. So it might not always be at those times, but if you hop in, you know, just go in the TCG chat, you want to learn, talk in the Gen chat. So many are willing to hop on tabletop with you and teach you the game, even on off hours or off times. The other thing is, if you're a more hands-on person, well, in Richmond, you get there, we'll be set up to demo. So you could sit down at the booth, sit down at the table with any of our players, and they'll teach you the game right there, hands-on, demo it with you, walk you through the different decks. It's just a great way, an easy way to learn. So we're always here, we're always around. And yeah, we really are just getting started, just like Food Fight Studios said. This is just the beginning of so many great things together with all of you. So thank you all. And guessing we're going to close it down for the night. Some of you are probably playing poker. And we're going to join you all in the Discord.
Let's go.
So have a wonderful night. We'll post the link also for the site and the pre-orders in the Discord if it's not already there. And if you have any questions, just hit us up in main chat or your tickets.
Yes, we also, real quick, we'll be having a Twitter space on Wednesday, October 2nd at 4:30 p.m. So join us on Twitter. It'll be like a Richmond pre-show. So, you know, we'll be talking about all this kind of stuff, TCG, about the tournament, you know, other stuff, fun stuff that we have planned. So we'll see you on Twitter and in the Discord. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great night.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
See you soon.
See ya.